Hey everyone, it's Andy. I'm here to share with you my first reaction video. I've never done one of these before, so I'm looking forward to doing it with you. And I'm going to do it with a particular video. The video I'm going to share is a part of our new courseware that's online, being released first quarter 2025, known as ACIT, ACIT, Advanced Crisis Intervention Training. In this video, you're going to be watching me and one of our instructor cadre, Candace Hanna, engaging in a production where we intervene with someone who's moving around in a parking lot, engaging in what is suspicious activity, and we want to redirect this person to something more constructive. Where we are in the Pacific Northwest, and particularly in Tacoma, Washington, there are parts of the city that this kind of activity occurs all the time. And workforce members in service agencies and just about any company sometimes have to engage people involved in this activity. Let's take a look at the video clip and then we'll break it down. Hey man, Dan.
What? What do you want?
Look, I see you poking around the car. It's a staff parking lot. There are things in
Man, I ain't trying to steal anything.
There are things in these vehicles that can be converted for money. I appreciate that everyone wants to get a buck. It makes a lot of sense. Why don't you come with us? We'll hook you up with food, a place to be warm, maybe some resources. That way you don't have a legal problem. You have your freedom. You can move on with your day. Come on, let's go.
Fine.
Come on. We'll watch it again in a minute, but what did you observe in this video clip? Hopefully you observed some things that I'm going to highlight. You observed Candace and me approaching this person and leaving a good deal of space between us and them in the interaction. There are lots of words we use to describe that: the reactionary gap, proxemics, spatial relationship. We were close enough to make an appreciable impact, but far enough away where we needed to evade a potential physical attack from the person served, or if they wanted to posture or get aggressive. We were able to buy ourselves time in having to either protect ourselves or to evade. Additionally, what you observed was me following a very deliberate sequential thinking and speaking process known as VDSP: validate, defer, suggest, and prompt. This method and the learning design around this method, which was created in 2013 by me and the members of the psychiatric emergency response team that formed the initial program in the particular state in which we did. This approach and method has been described in some other ways since then, using other descriptive terms, but we are the founders of it, and I'd like to believe that we are the very best at not only demonstrating it, but teaching it in a way that leverages that everyone has these skills. When they organize them in a particular manner, they avoid offense, they do not stimulate the limbic system of the person that you're going to engage, and most importantly, they render the most influence in the research and the social learning data. Let's take a look at the video again, and perhaps if you didn't see those highlights earlier, you can see them again now. The video is short. We'll watch it again. Hey man, Dan. Clearly I know him. There are service providers that engage people routinely in community who can sometimes get involved in questionable activity that require staff to intervene. This is certainly one of those contexts.
What? What do you want?
Look, I see you poking around the car. It's a staff parking lot. That's validation. I see you, I hear you, I understand you. No judgment. It's observation. I see you, I hear you, I understand you. That's validation. There are things that...
Man, I ain't trying to steal anything.
Right before the word defer popped up, this is a staff parking lot. I'm not saying you're in a staff parking lot. I'm saying this is a staff parking lot. This is something that exists independent of you and me, and it's a public space. There are things in these vehicles that can be converted for money. I appreciate that everyone wants to get a buck. It makes a lot of sense. Why don't you come with us? We'll hook you up with food, place to be warm. I'm suggesting an alternative course of action without condemning the person during the activity or rendering any judgment about what they were just doing. Give you some resources. That way you don't have a legal problem. You have your freedom. You can move on with your day. Come. The positive prompt is the image of a desirable outcome. What's better as a destination than the destination you're going to arrive at by what you're doing now? Let's go.
Fine, fine.
Come on. As Dan is moving away from the vehicle, Candace and I maintain the reactionary gap. We maintain good proxemics. We keep our eyes on the person, and now we're going to support them to their next destination, which is the building right behind us where services and the things that I just described are available. I hope you took some things out of this video. Please feel free to like and subscribe or share a comment. More of these coming soon. Take good care.